750 gold again for delivering a letter. Even the postmen get better paid than dragon slayers. And we're back here in Bruma. That's right, we finally made it to Bruma, and after a brief nostalgia fit, I delivered the letter I promised to deliver to the blacksmith. However, now I'm listening to the music. Now we have to do the whole tourist thing. Yes, we do. Because, you know, that's kind of why we're here. It really is.
I'm Barnus.
So,
my dad is Albekius. What's your name?
hello, Barnus. Did we need to talk? We shouldn't be talking to the children. It just looks weird, doesn't it? There's a stranger in town, and he started out by speaking to all the children. Let's keep our eye on him. So, we started here at the cathedral. What do we have here? We have the White Pine Lodge, which requires a key. You don't think there's a chance we can actually buy a home here, do you? Okay, stow that thought. It had that nice sound, didn't it? All right, let's try and be systematic about this then, right?
Gort's the name, killing's the game.
Gort's the game.
Can I help you?
Apparently there's someone
Had
called
the
Gort.
pleasure of hearing Renard screeching.
Realm Tay. Have a oh, what made you a beggar?
A series of unlucky events. I'd rather not talk about it.
No, okay, here you go. Have a coin.
Bless you, sir. Bless you.
Apparently I'm very cute. The gift of charity added. Okay. What would you do with the coin?
I will put it into the fund that I've been putting together for a while now. To buy a house and get a roof over my head.
Okay.
It's growing slowly, but surely. Houses are expensive.
Yes, they are. Usually. You begin to warm up. Okay. The gift of charity. Let's have a look. The gift of charity. It would come under G or a T. There you go, T. Speechcraft increased for 10 points, by 10 points for an hour. I'm actually surprisingly good at speaking. I say that. But, you know.
Stranger,
People
have you
might
seen my
disagree.
dad?
Yes, I've got to speak to someone about your dad. Icewind Traders. Yes, I'm going to visit every single solitary shop and say hello to absolutely everybody. You're just going to have to get past that. Cedus Perusius.
Greetings. Welcome to Icewind Traders. If we don't have it, you don't need it. Welcome to Icewind Traders.
Then I could list 10 things
if you don't see
I
what
need.
you need out here, let me
You
know.
don't have.
Might have it in the back.
Okay, you might have it in the back. Okay, how's business?
Business is always good for a general goods merchant like myself, since I don't rely on any particular thing to draw in sales. Take poor old Fadel, the butcher, for example. If someone doesn't want meat, he doesn't have a customer. But me, someone doesn't want meat, they want silverware. Don't want silverware? How about a potion? And so on and so on and so on.
Okay, but that's fair enough. You're versatile. You don't specialize. It makes you a little more resilient to the whims of fate. Got it, but specialists tend to do well as well. I mean, people always want meat. It's just, can they afford it? Okay, what are your most popular items?
Most things are very popular. The only thing that isn't popular is cutlery.
Do people not use knives and forks in Bruma? I'm not even going to ask. No, I am.
Turns out the Nords aren't all that big on table etiquette.
Excuse me. I may be a Breton, but I live with those Nords, and they seem perfectly comfortable with knives and forks. Okay. What do you have for sale? What do you sell?
Why, my friend, surely the better question is, what don't I sell? I sell anything and everything, or thereabouts.
You know, you're making me want to create a list of things that I know you can't possibly have. You do realise that, right? You're triggering every pedantic bone in my body, and I have an awful lot of bones in my body, and every single one of them is pedantic.
Take a look.
I'm going to. Okay, let's have a look. You don't have very many weapons. I mean, really? Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm being a little aggressively picky. Do you have gold? You do have some gold. I can sell you some stuff, even if I can't see anything that I need. Well, honestly, he really didn't have an awful lot.
Until next time.
That I needed and didn't buy much of the stuff I had to sell. Although I do have quite a few items I'd like to try upgrading before I sell. I should possibly have tried using the forge while I was there. I may...
Weary of the whispers, why not go somewhere more agreeable? Resort of the resplendent boutique of magical wonders.
Rizala the Resplendent... Okay, I'm sure we'll find him. I'm sure we'll find him. I am a little thirsty. Yes, I am. Venison. Feeling well hydrated. Okay. Sellus Prelius's house. Didn't we have to... I'm pretty damned sure we have to find him. Ask Sellus Prelius about Alina's missing father. Right. But probably not by...
You're taking us somewhere.
Okay, no. We're staying with this systematic approach. Renard's house. Hello, Renard. Knocking first, honestly. Just fell through the door. Hello. Oh my God, what happened to your head? Did somebody hit you and you get a very large bump and had to wear that hat to hide it? Renard? Even-toned.
Away with you, Rube!
What? You seem very confident about your ability. Wait, what? What's with the hat? Do I even know he's a bard? No. I do, on the other hand, know he's wearing a hat.
The hat? The hat? You dare refer to it as a hat? This bumpkin is a Colovian fur-elm. They were all the rage back in the Third Era, though their popularity has since waned.
I cannot imagine why.
But I, the illustrious Renard Even-Toned, am spearheading their revival. Not only am I a pioneer of music, I am also a pioneer of fine fashions. Soon, when you see all and sundry walking around sporting them, you'll know in the back of your mind that Renard Even-Toned was there first.
Okay. Probably shouldn't... Okay.
Indeed you do. Gaze upon the visage of my Third Era Colovian fur-elm, for its originality is sadly fleeting.
So you're a bard, he says, changing the subject.
I am the most illustrious bard in the entirety of Tamriel. I promise you that.
Dude, you...
Much better than
can barely
any
talk.
of the bumpkins from the Bard's College. That I graduated to, of course.
You didn't graduate, did you? You didn't graduate. Did you graduate at the Bard's College?
Of course I did. What, you think Renard Even-Toned, a master bard and true artist, would be rejected from the Bard's College? Of course not.
Dude, you... Yeah, okay. You seem very confident about your ability.
Of course I am. A true Nord knows that boasting is appropriate when it is called for. And Renard Even-Toned knows this well. Or are you insulting my ability, bumpkin?
Okay.
Don't tempt me.
Tempt you to what? Tempt you to do what exactly? You're gonna throw down and sing at me in a raspy voice?
To clunk you over the head with my flute or my lute, or bludgeon you with my fiddle.
You
I
can...
know. I will travel to Daggerfall, grab one of those fancy bread knobs, and spank you with it.
Okay, way too much
Ooh, or I could slam you
spanking
with a
and...
tambourine so vigorously that every Bruma citizen could hear it. That would make you the joke of the day. Oh, look, there goes the tambourine man.
Okay, we are in the
How's that
presence
sound, Piss and Rube?
of utter
How's
madness
that sound, Piss and Rube?
and stupidity. Who apparently wants to spank me with various... Wait, what? What just happened? 5 bounty just... What? What? Just... I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Oh, look, a pumpkin.
Wait, a bumpkin. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Gonna spank me with various magical items. Sorry, musical instruments. What was this? Okay, that's my sword. What was... I could have sworn I saw something about a bounty. For what? Is that a guard on his way? Am I in trouble for something?
That's the Renard.
Am I?
Just take it and go.
Okay. You smelter. Does he have any other tools? Is that guard coming to tell me off for I don't know what? Okay. I can smelt a dragon. I can make... Requires... Oh, I can break stuff down. Ah, don't want to do that, I don't think. Because... Oh. Orgnum's dagger gives me malachite. Right, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Should we go talk to this guard?
Come to turn yourself in, eh?
Oh, for what? For what? What crime? I'll consider myself told off then, shall I? Oh, God, you know what? Whatever. Right, fine. Was there any other crafting things? Right, this is Northern Arms. That was...
What is it?
Bizarre is what it is. Okay, you're here too? Okay. Right, so, this is a interesting place for... Right, Blacksmith Forge. Can I... Slash. I can make all of these things. Oh my God, really? Outdoing scale armor. Oh my God, I can make a lot of things that I did not know about. However, that's not what I wanted to do. What I wanted to do was use the workbench and see... Right.
If anyone sneaks up on us...
This is what I'm using, 117, but we also have this Nordic Ebony Light Shield. If I could upgrade it, I could get it to 98. That's not that good.
Khajiit got your back.
I could upgrade... I did not know I could do that. If I had ingots, the Dwarven, I could make this legendary,
You're taking us
which
somewhere
would
wrong.
give it no advantage whatsoever. And, excuse me, Casual, can I... Casual?
Khajiit got your...
Someone else is using this. Not for long. I just want to know if I can sell this. Right. The Elysian Sword, which is kind of crap.
I can't say the Ducani family is perfect.
All right.
And we
Audiel's
have our
Bow,
little
I've already got
black
that
spot.
legendary.
But we live quite a
The
fortunate
Black
life.
Sting, this is the one I was curious. 150! As opposed to... Oh,
Good
it's about the
afternoon.
same. Yeah. What about the Crow Broadsword? That would be 138. Not really... Yeah, okay, fair enough. Well, at least we know there's no actual benefit to keeping those items. I've already spoken to you.
Hello.
Am I not? I'm in the smithy. Why are you guys here? Where's the smith? Hello? Mr. Smith? I was hoping he would...
Good afternoon.
Hi. I was hoping to sell the smithy something? Talk to him a little? Has he gone back out to smelt? He has.
Stranger, have you seen my
I'm
dad?
working on it.
What is it?
How's where'd you learn to smith?
Relatively good, as of late, I'd say. Hostilities are boiling under the surface here in Cyrodiil. Have been for a while.
Okay.
No one dares make the first move, but everyone's waiting for it with bated breath. That means they're arming themselves in preparation for rainy days to come. And that means customers for blacksmiths such as myself.
Yeah.
Not to sound like a war profiteer, of course.
Yeah, well, why would people be arming themselves if no one is making a move? Because they're all waiting for the first person to do so.
Sure, they're not walking around in armor with swords in their scabbards all the time. But people are keeping a weapon handy a lot more these days. Never know when you'll need to defend yourself from a party of Dalmor Justiciars.
Right.
Don't tell Armian I said that.
I won't.
They know a storm is on the horizon, and soon enough there, all of our lives are about to become a lot more dangerous. They want to be prepared.
I don't blame him. You're not going to sell me anything or buy anything of mine.
Buy.
Okay. I could, of course, break some of these items down for their components, because you never know, I might... Right, the Nordic Ebony Light Shield, for example, which will give me some ebony, and I can use that later on.
If anyone sneaks up on us,
Let's break a
I'd
few
smell them
things
coming.
down then. We're not going to sell most of them, and I've got so many items to sell anyway. And, of course, have Kajo carry some of it for me. Right. There were some people in here, though, that I could chat with. Include... Oh, there were. There was the young lady. Oh, there you... Hi, Edvia.
Welcome. The name's Edvia. I'm Holgard's assistant.
Oh, right, you work at the blacksmith. You did mention that, actually. Oh!
About me?
Could have sold you the
not
stuff.
really much to tell.
Yeah, I've still got loads of stuff that you'll buy. Surely there's something interesting about you. Yeah, I heard you having an argument earlier.
Well, okay, there's no easy way to put this, but my family wants me to marry this diplomat in the Imperial City. They say he's charming and handsome and witty, but I know what they really mean.
Rich and powerful.
He's rich, and he's going to bring wealth to the family. Wealth and influence. But I don't want money or power. I want someone I love, and he isn't it. Holgard is. But, well, he's proven more than a little resistant. So far.
The guy behind you. Okay. Right, so, okay.
Fine goods, fair prices.
Fine goods, fair prices. You would probably have bought those... A-lead sword? Interesting. Interesting. I might be finding some new things, I suppose. She doesn't have enough money to buy the ebony shortbow of lightning, because that thing's quite expensive, actually. But she would buy this. It's almost worthless, though. The thing is I don't want to sell it. I think I'm going to leave this with Kajo so I don't accidentally sell it. It's something I've not seen before, so...
Talk to you later.
Thanks, Holgard.
I've honed my craft for years. I may not be Orlan Greymane, but then again,
I know him.
Skyrim.
I know him, believe it or not. What do you have for sale? I'd like training in smithing. Aren't I pretty much maxed out in smithing? I could have sworn I'm maxed out in smithing.
By the looks of things, you outclass me.
Yeah.
Sorry, but there's nothing further I can teach you.
That's okay, that's okay. I wasn't actually bragging or trying to put you down or anything. Oh, he has stuff for sale. But before we do that, he only sells when he's indoors. Got it. This place seems quite well decorated for a smithy.
Ah, glad to see you noticed. These furnishings don't come cheap.
Okay, well... Go on. How much?
Well, normally I keep my finances private, but just this once. For the whole smithy and the furnishings outside, 10,000 septims.
Okay, that is a lot of money for a blacksmith.
Indeed it is. I am, however, in a rather fortunate position. I have a contract with the Count to outfit his forces with arms and armor. And because of that, I have a steady source of income.
Right.
Beats the on and off work I used to rely on.
War, yeah. How did you get this contract with the Count?
I set up here as a blacksmith. The Count wanted a blacksmithing contract. He did the sensible thing.
Yeah. Okay. And where did you learn to smith?
You're asking a Nord where he learned to smith. That's like asking an Altmer where he learned to make you want to punch him in the face. I learned all over Tamriel. I learned near enough my whole life. When I was 10, my mother would always be going on, you know. Damn it, Holgard, I haven't seen you with a hammer out of your hands for years. I don't even remember what your empty hands look like. By now, I'd believe it if someone said you were born with a smith's hammer in your hand. And burn marks to match. The bottom line is that blacksmithing is as much a part of being a Nord as the beards and the drink.
Yeah, okay.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
I suppose so. Out of curiosity...
Strongest steel and best prices in the whole province. Take a look.
You sell components as well, which is probably going to be useful. Do you have anything of interest? Probably not. You do. You have very little. Do you share a money with your assistant? I suppose that would make sense, would it not? Because you seem to have about as much money as she had in the end. And you will buy the same things for the same prices. Okay, right.
Bye.
So, you want to marry him. He's well off, actually. He's doing well.
Always glad to have a customer.
But
until next
here's
time.
Northern Arms.
He hasn't
the
noticed
guy you're
you.
Looking at is a master blacksmith. Even if I do say so myself.
And he's single.
If anyone sneaks up on us,
Well, I'm sure you'll figure some way of getting his attention. Gort.
My weapon wants a tempering. Things want to kill him. Fetch me 3 iron ingots to temper my weapon in my book of killing so I know who needs killing. Then I'll give you gold.
What? Do you always greet people this way?
Only when my weapon wants a tempering and things want a killing.
Yeah, bye.
My killing arm's getting flabby. Change your mind. I want to get me some killing done.
Okay. Gort is...
Can I help you?
Kind of slow by the sounds of things. And also has a bit of a thing about killing people and talking in a strange, creepy manner. Fair enough. Right, okay. Should we leave the buildings in the middle till last? Because I cannot help but feel entering the, yeah, let's do that. Entering that building.
Hi, Realm. How'd you do today?
Not too bad. Lady Jukani was feeling generous today and gave me a septim. You could probably try her yourself tomorrow. And the chapel was good, of course. How'd you do?
Didn't do too bad, but don't try and beg from that old man Ralgar. Got an earful about making something of
if
myself.
anyone sneaks up on
little
us,
else.
I'll smell them coming. Or I might not. We will see.
Okay. Cerilius the Stagnant.
I promise, I won't blow it on mead again. I just need some new shoes, or I'll lose my toes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Bless you, sir.
I have
Bless
got
you.
more money than I could possibly spend. And I'm still strangely obsessed with making more money, but if I can do some good with it, then yes, you shoes. Right. What's the word around town?
I've heard a thing or two, but it's going to cost you.
Okay. Here's 5.
Haha, yes, that's what I like. Thank you. Heard about that Underpaw fort? They say necromancers are holed up there. Probably killing passerby and raising those undead server-whatsits.
Server-whatsits. Okay, undead server-whatsits. We will take care to ignore or deal with the server-whatsit problem. You're a veteran?
Aye, that I am. Fought in the Great War against the Dominion. I lost my weapon,
man.
lost my sight, and lost my freedom.
Okay, that
can't do
sucks.
much now on account of my eye. If only I had an extra septum to help me buy a loaf of bread.
Have another coin.
Bless you, sir. Bless you.
And any memories of your time as a soldier?
Lots of them. I was there, you know. At the Battle of the Red Ring. I saw the bloodshed, the chaos. I had a journal, kept a record of all that I went through, but those damned bandits came through and stole all my belongings, journal included. Serves me right for trusting that slimy Argonian and the tavern. Cowers and corners, or whatever his name is.
Okay. I would think you were racist against Argonians, except for the fact that you seem to be a friend of this guy. I could get it back for you.
You do that for an old beggar? Praise the divines. I'll reward you as best as I am able.
No need, seriously. Seriously, no need. And if you end up giving me 750 coins for doing it, I'm going to freak out. Thing is,
friend,
I feel a little guilty. Well, not guilty, but
my most sincere
off
thanks,
balance. I gave the other guy
friend.
2 coins. Plus 5 for some information, but I gave him 2, so there you go. Oh, I get the gift of charity from you. Oh, right.
See you.
Okay. I am once again hungry. I still got quite some weight.
I admit, the dragons are a concern, but we can avoid them if we do not stay in one place for too long.
Well, we'll go to the keep later on. What have we got here? Oh, it's all one building. I thought it was 2 different buildings, actually. But it's not. And this is upper class house. Okay. Stenar Senna's house. Stenar Senno's house? Okay.
Nords are so
The Gerald View Inn. Okay, this is the... Oh, right. Hello, Beccius Ducani.
Yes, traveller? What do you need?
I'm being nosy. Okay, and I'm reading your mind. I'm Albesius of the Ducani
I am
family.
privileged to enjoy quite a comfortable life. But I do try to give something back to the less fortunate folk when I can.
Okay.
The Great War took its toll on us. On all Cyrodiil. She may not look so different on the surface, but her spirit writhes in agony.
Okay, well then tell me about your family, and specifically I am being very nosy, but what's with the whole trying to marry your daughter off thing, dude? Not cool.
We're quite old and quite influential. When we say things, people, important people, tend to listen.
Well, I'm listening,
That's
so...
not to say that we're the Elder Council, but we don't tend to be ignored either. And that's not to say we don't pick up on new opportunities when we can, of course.
Oh, you do sound
Our
insecure.
family must always strive for bigger and better things. Not to sound like a priest of St. Martin.
Okay, right, yeah, definitely.
Bye.
Massively insecure.
I would rather be back home in elsewhere, but
I feel like I want to do the inn last. Or at least last on this block. Ducani's house with no real reason to wander into the Ducani's house. So we've got an inn and a...
Marcius Carve, Viscount Bruma. The title garners a lot of respect and a fair few privileges. Anyway, how can I help you?
The Viscount of Bruma. Pleased to meet you.
I am Marcius Carvane, Viscount Bruma, at your service. Have you read my book by any chance?
I might have.
Yes, An Explorer's Guide to Skyrim. Very popular in Skyrim. Seems to turn up in the most unusual of places.
Have I read it? I might have read that. I may have. I read so many books. What does the Viscount do?
As Viscount, I'm a sort of secondary Count, if you will. I deal with a lot of the same duties as the Count, albeit deferring to him.
Okay, so it's Vice.
Often, when the Count is busy with other matters, he delegates lesser affairs to me.
Okay, fair enough. And do you like... No, what's it like being a Viscount?
It's quite interesting. It also affords me a fair amount of respect. Being the Count's second in command is no mean feat.
Okay, and is there anything going on in County Bruma?
The usual, honest citizens, wild animals, bandits, all in one melting pot. That and stubborn Talos worshippers. They've always been a risk to Bruma since the Concordat. Old habits die hard.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, good talking to you, I suppose. This was the... Right. So I've got this row to check out. I've got the inn to check out. Let's go down this area. And... Okay, we've got a market. Leo, don't talk to the small children.
Every copy only costs 10 septims.
Okay, talk to Leo. Copy of what?
What is it?
What papers have you got for sale?
Looking for the news.
Maybe. Okay, Black Horse Courier, Nern Theatre to close. Fighters Guild expanding. Lost Scribonian novel published. Save Nern Theatre. Oh, okay, you know what? I probably could find them, couldn't I? But I shall...
See you around.
Yes, thank you. Ooh, we've got to chat with him. Thing is before we do that, I have this horrible suspicion I'll forget to read these notes. Nern Theatre to close. Nern Theatre to close. The Imperial government has released a statement finally confirming the rumours swirling about the Nern Theatre. It has officially lost its sponsorship and will be permanently closing its doors sometime in the near future. The statement has been printed below in full. In the earlier days of our Grand Emperor's reign, when civilized life flourished in a great renaissance, the Nern Theatre and other large works of art and culture were viable as publicly funded institutions. Unfortunately, due to a severe lack of public funds, the Empire has made, with a characteristically heavy heart, the decision to close the theatre until further notice. Inescapable bureaucratic mismanagement and financial waste associated with the theatre's recent ventures cannot be supported or subsidized by imperial taxes. In these trying times, reconstruction, the production of food, and the reparation of relations with our new partners in the Altmeri Dominion must take precedence over all else. Art cannot protect our children or grow our crops. Imperial cultural funding will return in due time, but we must recognise that art cannot flourish without the support of a stable society upon which it can be created and appreciated. The thing is, as a pragmatic man, I understand these thoughts. However, if you study your history, you will often see art and progress going hand in hand. Does one cause the other, or is it a feedback loop? We've often felt that it was our instinct, our desire to tell stories, to paint pictures, to use our imaginations that have elevated us. If we ignore that side of ourselves, do we, in the search of a pragmatic survivalist approach, actually lower our chances of such survival? However, the White Gold Tower does recognise the important cultural contributions of the theatre and will be graciously sponsoring a limited set of farewell productions showcasing some of the greatest achievements and acts of heroism in our empire. The opening production will be a reenactment of the Siege of Bruma, starring the talents of Varian Sealius as Martin Septim, Quintius Laureus as the saviour of Bruma, and Tyrannus Maximus as the noble Captain Meade who valiantly protected the citizens from the Daedric onslaught before the arrival of the hero. Standing, sitting and box seat tickets are available now from our approved vendor, the Velvet Curtain. This is a sad day for the arts. This reporter would encourage all those who can attend the final performances to do so. The playwright in residence, the esteemed Classius Curio, has already promised to put on a spectacle worthy of the gods themselves, to bid the theatre farewell. Is that Classius Curio of the Argonian Maid, the lusty Argonian Maid fame? Is he going to be keeping his clothes on? Scipio Florian, cultural correspondent for the Black Horse Courier. The Black Horse Courier is Citadel's premier newspaper, providing objective commentary on current events in Citadel beyond... Right, yeah, no, we've read that. Okay, that's one of them. That's the Black Horse Courier one. Colovian Chronicle. Fighters Guild expanding. According to the head of the choral branch of the Fighters Guild, Philippa Petros, the Imperial Institution has finally stretched its wings and begun the construction of its first countryside guild halls. When asked why the guild was now looking to expand its horizons, Petros quoted, "The Fighters Guild has always strived to provide the best service to its clients, no matter the difficulty of the endeavour. Alas, our presence in the countryside has recently dwindled, and those who need our help must go unheard. Starting today, the Fighters Guild will hear their calls, and we will answer. I'm wondering if they need help." The guild is expected to face very few problems in its new endeavour, as expenses for the project are subsidised by the Empire using funds previously allocated to new priories and woodsman lodges, and should prove to be far more beneficial than either of the above. For more information, see Philippa Petros on the subject in the Coral Fighters Guild Hall, just next to the city's northern gate. Norbert Thras, researcher of the Colovian Chronicle. Greetings, fair citizen. Is your armour feeling the wear of time? Has your sword dulled to the point where cutting hedges is impossible? Never mind wolfhide. We here at the Colovian Chronicle recommend you go to see Varna Gask and his wife Molag at their family-owned store, the Oaken Armoury in Coral. This wonderful smithy is located directly across from the south gate on the right side of the street. Remember, don't wait. A dull blade means a dead you. Can't believe there's an advert. Well, I can. Can I visit Coral? I didn't think... Oh, I never actually got round to looking at the Cyrodiil treasure map 1. Alright, we're looking for a path through the mountain. Oh! I passed it! I passed the treasure! I found... Or did I? No, wait. That's the Sentinel. And that X... Isn't that where I fought the bandits and got the map? Isn't that where I got the damned map? There was treasure there? I'm pretty sure I got the map there. Maybe they were treasure hunters, and I didn't pick it up on that. I'm going to have to go back there and see... I'm going to have to go back there. Oh, that is slightly annoying. And, okay, 2 more. The Niben Herald Lost Scribonian novel published. 150 years after she wrote her last novel, Casta Scribonia is still making new generations of Imperial readers squirm with ever-worsening discoveries. A set of notes and rough drafts in a mouldy box in Coral Attic recently prompted one of the biggest upsets in literary history, and this week the hysteria reaching terrifying new heights. Casta Scribonia's lost novel, The Magic of Dusk, was published today in full, sans even the most cursory attempts at putting it into a presentable form. Full of missing passages, hackneyed cliched, and puerile dialogue, Dusk appears to be little more than a discarded fantasy of Scribonia's, an idle self-insertion in an infantile romance with a vampire lord, of all things. Green Emperor's Publishing, not content with publishing the ghastly original notes, have taken the disastrous decision to fill in the details themselves, making this latest edition little more than a pale copy of a hack writer's personal fantasy. This, however, did not stop hordes of fans storming every bookstore, every bookshop, and printer in the Imperial City, all clamouring for a copy. First edition, a local institution, ran out of all editions of the book within minutes. This craze has not gone unnoticed, and Dusk has created a disproportionately large impact on Cyrodiil's public passionate debates over throwaway lines common amongst the younger generations, book burnings among the pious, and even a full-scale production set to take the Nern Theatre have been talking points over the last few days. This author attempted to read the book, but found he'd rather a good quill-weave thriller instead. Festus Otus, arts critic. The Niben Herald, because a good story is more important. Alright. Save the Nern Theatre. The threatened closure of the Nern Theatre, an outrageous affront to the sensibilities of the cultured, is simply the latest blow in a string of intellectual and artistic attacks from a ferociously pro-Colovian regime. That the current establishment has openly withdrawn funding from such a historic centrepiece is nothing short of a willful purge of Nibenese influences in our once great capital city. Gone are the shining performances of the actors' guilds, its members disappearing into the arms of far-flung patrons. No longer will we hear the cheers and cries of the crowds held in rapture as masters of the craft dance and sing before them. This decision to end the existence of one of the last shining jewels of the Imperial Majesty will sound the death knell of colour and joy in our once great city. Sound your fury, citizens of the Imperial City, and let the Medes know that this time they have gone too far. Would you rather see your children brought up on the blood and gore of the arena, or on the heroic tales of Topal, the pilot? Yeah, here's the problem. Probably the arena. People are kind of like that. Well, some are. Help save the Nirn Theatre today. Donate a few gold pieces. Festus Otus, Arts Critic. Okay. So he's just repeating the other story. Okay. Sellus Prelius. Do you know where Haran is?
Haran? That Oh, did Licinia send you my way? Forget I said that.
Okay.
No. I haven't heard from him in months. Not since he was called to arms.
Isn't he your son? Or is he your son-in-law? You don't seem to like Haran very much.
That obvious, is it? Well, I don't hate the boy. He's a good husband to Licinia, and a good father to Elena. But if I had a son like that, I'd ask the Divines what I had done wrong.
Why?
You might not understand why, but every soldier of the Legion takes an oath. Upon my honor, I do swear undying loyalty to the Emperor, Titus Mede II, and unwavering obedience to the officers of his great empire. May those above judge me, and those below take me if I fail in my duty. Long live the Emperor! Long live the Empire!
Okay.
Ron said those words, but I could tell he never meant them. He holds Skyrim and his Nord heritage closer to his heart than he ever held the Empire.
Okay.
Talk to you later.
Right. This is a Nord versus Imperial thing.
I'll smell them
But did he be his right? Retrieve Cerelius' journal from Plump Rat Camp. Ask Licinia Ironheart about her missing husband. Wait, didn't I have to speak to this guy as well? Isn't this the father-in-law? Or am I just getting mixed up? I'm probably getting mixed up. This is Botram the Hammer, and this is his house. He looks kind of sad, doesn't he? Botram!
Yes? Come to hear of an old man's adventures?
Okay, maybe?
You bet I would. But I'm sorry if this comes across the wrong way, traveler, but, well, I'm poor. I'm no good for jobs anymore, and people aren't going to pay you for just existing. So, tell you what, you give me a couple of septims, and I'll regale you with some stories. Sound like a fair trade, stranger?
Sure, yes. So you're a beggar. No, come on, that's fine, whatever. Here you go.
Thanks, stranger. Rare to see such a generous sort here in Bruma.
Okay, then by all means.
It was a bright, sunny Turdus and Whiterun Hold. I was hanging around Dragon's Reach, hoping to meet a rich noble lady and strike up a conversation.
Let us hope that if there
What
are
can I
dragons,
say?
there are only
I was young and naive. Imagine my surprise when out of the keep, instead of a noblewoman, comes a beautiful battle maiden, covered head to toe in beautifully crafted steel. She carried a huge steel claymore on her back, and I have no doubt that she'd have wielded it just as well, if not better, than any of the city guard. Paralyzed by panic, I remained silent, dared not to say anything to her, even as she was breathing in my face. She chuckled, then asked me if I was up for a challenge. Said there were some bandits in a local cave, marked it on my map, and challenged me to clear it out. Blinded by my own lust, I accepted. She handed me that glistening greatsword she carried on her back. I wasn't trained with a weapon, but I was strong. I could hold it, unlike most. She said she was impressed by that. So I took the greatsword to the cave she had described. Well, it was actually a mine of sorts. Ember Shard, they called it.
I know it.
headed inside. Down the slope, I could just see, through the gloom, the red glowing eyes of a Dunmer. I assumed he was a bandit, but I wanted to be sure.
Good man.
Foolish and young. That was me. So, like a damned fool, I called out to him. "What are you doing down here?" I asked. He said nothing, but I saw his eyes narrow with anger in the dark. Then they got larger and larger, and I heard footsteps. He was coming towards me. I was done for. Then, all of a sudden, I heard a clink. The Dunmer had stepped on a pressure plate. And just like that, a whole pile of boulders came crashing down from the rafters and crushed him under them. That
I
was
know
one
that
bandit
feeling
dealt
well.
with. His screams as he died, and the sound of the rocks falling, attracted the attention of the rest of the bandits in the mine.
Okay.
I heard who I can only assume was their leader shout, in his typically guttural orcish voice. "Seems like we've got company, boys. Weapons out, eyes peeled. Let's go." I hid in the darkness, once again paralyzed by fear and doubt. Then an idea struck me. What if I made a trap of my own? I took the Battle Maiden's longsword and put it up in the rafters where the boulders were. I rearmed the pressure plate to the best of my abilities. Just as I was finished, the orc rounded the corner, as did a band of other brigands. One of them held a torch and waved it around to illuminate the whole entranceway. Soon enough, they saw me. That was it. My big moment. My life or my death. The orc saw the boulders on the ground. I can only assume he took it as a sign that the trap had already been triggered and was safe to stand on. And so he stood on the plate. That was his big mistake. The great sword came careening down from the rafters with a force the likes of which I'd never seen before. By the blessings of Stendarr, it impaled him straight through the gut. He bled what looked like lakes full of blood, and no sooner had I blinked than he died. The rest of the bandits very close behind him tripped over his flailing feet as he fell. They went diving headfirst into the rocks that lay on the ground, and the blow on the head ended them too. It was then that the door opened behind me. My heart damn near stopped. The bandits wanted their retribution, I thought. My life's reached its end. But it was the Battle Maiden. She had realized I might have taken her joke seriously, and so she came to try to warn me before it was too late. She saw them all there, lying dead, including the orc who had the greatsword still sticking out of him. Her eyes widened in shock. Let's just say I was economical with the truth when explaining what happened during the encounter. It was then she told me she was one of the companions, an order of warriors based out of Whiterun.
I know them well.
I had what it takes to be one of them, and so I joined up the next day. And that's the story of how a few happy accidents got me into a life of adventuring, I suppose. Funny the way the world works.
Okay, well, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's actually a fascinating story, but
until next time,
we can save it for another time. It does look like the sun is going down, and maybe I should actually try and get a room. Isn't it funny? We leave Skyrim to come and have an adventure, and we end up listening about people having adventures in Skyrim. Okay. Oh, got it.
To which it is streaming for the boss man. They love the sinew. The boss man.
Why are you letting him do that? That is...
Renard, you're distressing the customers.
That is an understatement.
I am distressing the customers.
Yes.
That's what I just said. Yes.
You are... You dare... How dare you? I am outraged. You hired me to play songs in this bar that is so far below my standards, and now you proclaim my music as distressful?
You hired him?
I'm done with you standards, and I'm done with this shoddy excuse for a tavern. I'm off for the Restful Watchman, your top competition. How about that, huh? And you talentless, tasteless fiends! How dare you insult my music? Could you do better?
Yes!
No, you couldn't. Because I was trained at the Bots College in Solitude, and I'm the foremost practitioner of the art of song since Wagner himself. You are nothing more than jealous maggots, grasping your waist to insult me and belittle my talent. And to that, I say, good day.
It is times like these that one craves sugar.